There's a gentleman right here. Hi, I got a gentleman right here. Okay. Thank you, Paula. Could I get your name, sir?
Jeff.
Jeff, okay. Jeff, I'm assuming you didn't meet this woman here because you were holding her hands, but if you met her here, then good on you guys for making fast friends.
I'll move quickly.
You move quickly. All right. So Jeff, okay. You're a man of integrity, you're a man of valor, okay? I don't know who you are, but what you're doing in this world is important, and you are, you're a man of purpose. You're a man of purpose. Whatever you're doing is good stuff. And the message that I have for you is you can't solve all the world's problems. So you're somebody who is overwhelmed by the burdens that you're carrying, and you're like 2 pounds of dynamite stuck in a 1 pound package. What do? You're a helper. You're like a EMT guy. I don't know what the hell this is.
I'm a nurse, but I hold 12 patents and have 3 companies, and we're launching some stuff to help things up here for diabetics and also opiate overdoses. We're going to be preventing those.
I'm telling you,
a bunch of doctors up here.
You're a good dude. You're a good dude. Telling you. All right. Now, look at what just happened. I don't know you from Adam. And I was just directed to go to you and talk about how much you're contributing, how much you're trying to make a difference in this world, but you're overwhelmed. How many companies, how many patents? I mean, too many. Like, too many for one person, right? A lot. All right. You're running out of capacity that you wouldn't want somebody else to, because if you saw somebody else running at this capacity, you would determine that it was unsustainable. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
How's that going to work out for you? Okay, so now we're talking basic mechanics, right? This is engineering. This is you're asking too much out of the machine, and the machine's getting cranky, or tired, or upset, or whatever you're getting. It's too much for you. Okay. This is interesting. You are so connected to a place of valor and integrity and doing really great things. You're not following your dream. Oh my gosh, hold on. So this person that you're with here, she's encouraging you to, out of all the efforts and the things that you're doing and all the great things that you're doing in this world, she wants you to do the thing that brings you joy. I don't know what this is, and it feels like it's going to be an added thing. Maybe you can find all the joy in the world with what you're doing, but to fill your cup up, you have to be a little selfish, okay? So, I'm gonna let you know how I relate to this, okay? So I am in the middle. I have gone through some very bizarre, tangible things, and this is part of it. I'm in the middle of writing a memoir, like a book, big book about all this stuff, my story, the things that happened, all of it. I got to the point where it felt like a drudge. Like I just wasn't getting any joy, I wasn't having any fun in it, and so I stopped it, and I went and I wrote another book, and I just got 200 copies delivered. I'm going to publish it, it's going to be available in about a week. And when I was writing that book, and I was putting short stories in it, and poems, and coming up with the cover and the title, I was on fire. I loved it. It was like coming up with a record, you're like moving pieces around and doing all that, and you're being very creative. So I wrote a book. I love it. I don't care if anybody reads it. Like, people will, and I'm very grateful for that, right? But I was doing something that filled me with such a joy, and the only dream that I had when I was a little kid, I just wanted to be the next Stephen King. I just wanted to write stories, and I wanted to help people escape from the mundane problems of their world. Nobody's asking you to stop the wonderful things that you're doing in this world. You gotta be a little selfish, and you gotta have a little fun. And you gotta go out and have a little fun and play like a kid, and that is going to fill your cup back up. You got men around you, very valiant, very hardworking. They work themselves right off a cliff. You're following their example. You're following their example, man. They depleted themselves, they burnt themselves out, and they popped. And it's like that's the badge of honor or the standard that you've set for yourself. That didn't work for them. It's not going to work for you.
They died at work.
They died at work. Are you trying to follow that? I'm just asking. I mean, could you list how many companies and patents you have?
I have 12 patents. I've launched 6 companies. People call me for like problems, like, special forces and stuff, and so I just solve their problems. But I'm just a nurse, really.
You would not want your son to sit there, have all of that roll out of them, and then end all of that with saying, but I'm just a nurse. How awful that is for you. You are a nurse, you're an exceptional human being, and I want you to see what's gone on here. I go from one person to one person to one person to one person. Every person that I'm getting connected to here has a level of greatness. There are so many people in this room that want to reach inside themselves and find it for themselves. Now what I'd like you to do is, oh boy, I'd like you to get together with Ray Sean and go over that paperwork he's got to sign.
Yeah,
right?
I can definitely do that.
Like, for real, man. Like, this is something that I need you to do, okay? Now, oh man. So they have the answer for you, the thing that will bring you childlike joy. And I don't think, do y'all live together? Okay. I don't think your life partner here is going to have a problem with this. Build yourself the tree house you want in the backyard. Want a tree house?
Yep.
Build it. Build it. And then watch this, right? Because you're so programmed with this work hard, work hard, work hard, drive myself right off the cliff. You don't see the fact that if you had a tree house, make sure there's no Wi-Fi connection in it because you're a goddamn work addict, okay? Like no router in the tree house, man. Tree house, no Wi-Fi connection. Get out there and spend time in it and understand that there is a difference between childlike joy and childish joy. There's a difference between being childlike and childish. Now, Spirit gives me this term and I hunt it. I find it as much as I can. Vitamin joy. Vitamin joy. I want you to think of your life. Everybody's life in this room has a certain degree of pain, grief, heartache, all of it. That is going to find you without you asking it to come across your threshold. You have to pursue the joy. You have to see that vitamin joy as that antibiotic against the weight and the pressure and the patents and the companies and the pressure and all of that. The man who died at work, he feels like he left you something gold. He left you something actually made of gold.
Gold to me.
It's gold to you. Okay. He wants you to take and hold it. There's a strength and a power in it. So this is something that you can put in the palm of your hand?
Yeah, put it on my head.
Put it on your head, palm of your hand, hold it. Okay. So there is that. Now, one of the things, because there's so many people in this room that have empathy. Okay? Empathy, just understanding how other people feel, making sure that they don't want them to feel bad, all of it. One of the things that I do is make sure that everybody here, as much as I can, has empathy for the people who have passed. Now, everybody here has lost people. And I'm going to use my grandmother as an example. Okay? So my grandmother, she lost 2 sons, she lost her husband, and she lost both her parents. She experienced the worst things a human could experience. She lived until she was 87. She suffered through the worst things a human being can suffer from. When she passed, she left her body. And I want you to think about the analogy of a horse and a rider. The rider left the horse, went behind that one-way mirror. There is a process that we all go through. So when we're human, and we're alive, and we lose our loved ones to death, we grieve them. One of the things that nobody thinks about is that the people who die grieve the people they left on this side of the mirror. Now, when I combat my pain, when I minimize all the bullshit in my life, heart, mental, body, all of it, when I find my peace, I'm not just doing that for myself, I'm doing that for my grandmother's grandson. Because if I want my grandmother to rest in peace, I have to be at peace. And I'll do anything I can to make sure that woman knows peace. Now, the reason that I bring that to you is because this man who died at work, who went to the world of spirit, he's going to know a amount of regret. You're going to look back on his life, wish he had done things differently, wish he had done a whole lot of things differently. And then he's going to see the things that he did or didn't do cause the people he loved a certain amount of pain. That's a process that we all go through. So being alive is the opportunity to minimize the amount of regret that we feel when we pass. Being alive is just the opportunity to minimize the regret we feel in general. Build the treehouse, please. And if you're you are an amazing man, think about a consulting business. Unless you already have one. I mean, do you?
I own medical device companies, fintech companies, cybersecurity.
No consulting business though, right?
No consulting
Okay.
business.
Well, with your spare time, I want you to consider the consulting business, please, all right? But something that I want you to know, and this is a bold statement because not everybody who lives and dies gets this. When we pass, there's a record of our life. You're going to look back on your life. There's a record of your life here. There is absolutely a record of your life here. When you go to the world of spirit and you look back on your life, you are going to be so insanely proud of everything that you did, everything that you've done, and everything that you have yet to do. You need to take care of the guy that's doing it. So these people over here in the back who are all got entrepreneurial blood in them, and they're just looking to just conquer the world in their own ways. When you do that, you can't martyr yourself to that. You got to know how to take care of yourself. You're running at an unsustainable place. That's it. Now, one of the things that you don't want to do, because this could happen, if you die at work and you just go to the other side of that mirror and you're watching her, you're going to have to watch her huff and puff and go, God damn it, I told him, and you're going to have to watch that. Now, that's going to cause her a certain amount of pain and frustration, but that's going to cause you a certain amount of pain and frustration. I got a bold statement, and this is something that I promised everybody at the beginning. I told folks that I'm going to offer a lot of truths. Walk out of here, believe them if you want to or not. I've got a bold truth to offer, and in fact, I want to set the stage. When I was at the Lancaster Rialto, what I'm about to say had somebody yell out from the audience. What I'm about to say got me my first heckler. Love it. I love it. I wanted to bring him up on stage, right? So here's a bold statement. There is no hell. There is no lake of fire that we burn for all eternity because we didn't cross off a couple of boxes. How do I know this? Because I would never lock my child out of my house. Now, what is hell, though? Hell is suffering. And this is why every major world religion says, don't take your life. Don't commit suicide because you'll go to hell. Again, think of it in an analogy in a metaphorical way. When somebody unfortunately takes their own life, it's like that rider leaving the horse and going to that place. That place is right here. Every person who takes their own life goes to a place where they have to watch the pain that that action caused their mother, their father. And this is why a lot of people don't like me, because I'm not going to fill people full of new agey woo-woo bullshit. There's a lot of people in this world that'll be like, oh, our spirits are at peace, our spirits don't hurt. I'm going to beg to differ. They've lost their body, but they haven't lost their awareness of us, they haven't lost their love of us. My grandmother suffered for 87 years. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that she doesn't suffer where she's at by reducing my own. So again, I want to paint this picture to you. You have this man who walked himself off this cliff, watching you be magnificent, valiant, powerful, dependable, intelligent, a contributor. And he's watching you follow in his footsteps, walking yourself off the same cliff. I'm telling you, man, this guy will shake you by the shoulders when you get over there. So don't do that, right? Take care of your body like it's a machine. That's it. This isn't woo. This is just feed yourself, rest yourself, hydrate yourself, sleep well, basic mechanics. When I said to that woman, Carrie, that she has more compassion for her car than she does for herself, you fall right into that pattern. You have more compassion for your car, your computers, your pieces of machinery than you do for yourself, because you don't feel guilty taking care of them. You'll feel guilty taking care of yourself. Your life partner, what's your name? Just Marie?
Cassandra.
Cassandra? Okay, so I don't know why I said Marie. Maybe you look like a Marie I know. I don't know. I know why. I'll tell you later. That's not for a group. It's not like that. It's just something that doesn't need to be said in a group. Because she wouldn't want it said in a group. Encourage him for the treehouse, please. Encourage him for the treehouse. Now, here's an interesting thing. You said Jeff was your name? I'm sorry, I'm really awful with names. So Jeff. Okay, so Jeff, in this backyard of yours, you have spots where you've buried pets? Okay, you're supposed to put the treehouse like near the, like almost over where the pets were. Did you bury them near a big tree, big oak tree, big maple tree?
Pecan tree, that's right. Yeah, pecan
What is
trees. Pecan trees in the back.
Okay, well, it's a big tree. I don't know, bury, build this thing on, you don't want to build it on a small tree. You don't want to build it on a big tree. But you want this, this is such a strange thing to say to a man I've never met. You're going to want to build your tree house like your life depends on it. It may indeed.